The film opens with Alex, a determined journalist who's about to get married. She's heading to New York for her wedding, but everything falls apart when her flight gets canceled due to severe weather. Frustrated and anxious, she realizes her entire future is suddenly on hold. At the same airport, we meet Dr. Ben, a skilled surgeon who urgently needs to reach New York for a life-saving operation. If he doesn't make it in time, his patient could die. Both of them are stuck, stressed, and running out of options. Noticing Ben's desperation, Alex approaches him with an idea. She explains that as a journalist, she has connections, including a private pilot. Her plan is risky. They could hire the pilot to fly them to Dundee, and from there, they could each find a way to continue their journeys. The weather is dangerous, and all commercial flights have been grounded, but the pilot agrees to take them for $800. Alex includes Ben in the deal, knowing he can afford it and that traveling together would make things easier. They take off, and things seem manageable at first. However, it quickly becomes clear that the situation is more dangerous than they thought. The pilot has brought his dog along, and worse, he never filed a flight plan. No one knows they're in the air, not even air traffic control. Midway through the flight, disaster strikes. The pilot suddenly begins to struggle. Ben quickly realizes he's having a heart attack. Despite his efforts, the pilot dies, leaving no one to control the plane. Moments later, the aircraft crashes into a remote, snow-covered mountain range. Miraculously, Alex and Ben survive, but both are badly injured. The pilot doesn't make it, and Ben respectfully buries him before returning to help Alex. He treats her wounds as best as he can, but she remains unconscious for hours. When she finally wakes up, Ben tells her the harsh truth. Nearly a full day has passed. Her wedding is effectively over, and no one knows they're out there. Since the flight was never registered, no rescue team is coming. They're completely on their own. With limited supplies, just the clothes on their backs, a few biscuits, and some dried fruit, they take shelter in the wreckage of the plane. Days pass as they wait and hope for rescue. At one point, they hear a plane flying overhead. Desperate, Ben fires a flare gun, but it's too late. The plane is already gone. Their brief hope vanishes, leaving them more hopeless than before. After several days, Alex refuses to sit and wait any longer. She insists they need to move and find help. Ben warns her that her leg is badly injured and that traveling could make things worse. Still, she pushes him. Eventually, Ben agrees to scout ahead alone. Before he leaves, Alex gives him her camera, telling him the lens might help him see farther, and quietly adds that if he finds a way to survive, he shouldn't worry about her. Ben reassures her that if he intended to leave, he would have done it already. Ben climbs a nearby mountain, only to discover an endless stretch of snow-covered peaks with no sign of civilization. On his way back, he slips and nearly falls into a deep ravine, barely saving himself at the last second. Meanwhile, back at the wreckage, Alex faces danger of her own. A cougar approaches. Unable to run due to her injury, she prepares for the worst. The pilot's dog bravely tries to defend her, but gets injured. As the cougar attacks, Alex uses the flare gun and manages to kill it, saving her life. When Ben returns and sees the blood, he fears the worst, but is relieved to find Alex alive. He treats the dog's wounds, and for the first time in days, they have proper food by cooking the cougar. Despite the temporary relief, tension grows between them. Alex urges Ben to try again to find help, but he refuses, shaken by his earlier near-death experience. Their argument escalates, and Ben angrily says he's in this situation because of her. Hurt by his words, Alex leaves early the next morning with the dog, determined to find help on her own. When Ben wakes up and finds her gone, he panics and immediately follows her. When he catches up, emotions run high, but they reconcile and continue the journey together. Over time, they begin to bond deeply, relying on each other for survival. They trek through the harsh landscape, eventually finding a small cave to spend the night. Supplies are running low, and the cold is relentless. They stay close to survive. The next day, they push forward and finally leave the snowy mountains behind, entering a forested valley. There, Alex spots what looks like a man-made structure in the distance. a possible sign of life. As they continue, Alex tries to learn more about Ben's past, but he avoids her questions. Eventually, they reach a dead end. A massive ravine blocks their path. The realization crushes them. Still, Ben insists they keep trying. That night, they take shelter under a tree, exhausted and out of food. The following day, Ben searches for the dog and unexpectedly discovers a cabin, the same one Alex had seen earlier through a camera lens. But before he can bring her there, disaster strikes again. Alex unknowingly steps onto a frozen lake, which begins to crack beneath her. She calls out for help, but before Ben can reach her, she falls into the freezing water. Ben rushes in and pulls her out, risking his own life. He carries her to the cabin, starts a fire, and desperately tries to save her. She's in critical condition, dehydrated and freezing. With limited medical supplies, Ben improvises, using what he finds to hydrate her and keep her alive. Through sheer determination, he manages to save her. Alex eventually regains consciousness, and they stay in the cabin for a few days to recover. During this time, their bond deepens into something more emotional. Curious about Ben, Alex listens to his voice recorder and discovers messages from his late wife, who died 2 years earlier. When Ben finds out, he's initially upset, but he eventually opens up about his loss. Alex comforts him, and their connection grows stronger. Once Alex regains some strength, she tells Ben to leave her behind and go find help. He tries, but he can't bring himself to abandon her. He returns, choosing to stay by her side. As they continue traveling, Alex weakens again, and Ben carries her, dragging her through the snow when necessary. Eventually, Ben collapses from exhaustion. As he regains consciousness, he spots a settlement in the distance. Hope at last. But just as they think they're safe, a bear trap snaps shut on Ben's leg, severely injuring him. In agony, he tells Alex to go on without him and find help. Reluctantly, she agrees. With incredible effort, Alex reaches a road and collapses just as a truck approaches. At the same time, Ben loses consciousness. When Ben wakes up, he finds himself in a hospital. They've been rescued. Against all odds, they survived. Later, Ben goes to see Alex. She's alive and recovering. Her fiancé thanks Ben for saving her life, and the two part ways. Both struggle to move on. Ben considers calling her, but hesitates, believing she's now married. Alex, on the other hand, eventually reaches out by sending him the photos she took during their journey. Those memories bring them back together. When they finally meet again, Alex reveals the truth. She never went through with the wedding. Despite everything, her feelings for Ben never faded. This time, there's nothing holding them back. They reunite, choosing each other, and the film ends on that note of hope.